Peter Nabukenya, to Danny Cheyune, to very many other Ugandans. But again, the world is still trying to come to terms with the November massacre, where more than 100 innocent citizens of Uganda were killed on the orders of General Museveni. We also remember that many people like Omar Bone, like Hussein Walugembe were killed. And in the very recent days, we just buried our comrade, Frank. Frank was murdered, run over by a military police patrol car. And as usual, there was no report, there was no explanation from those that killed him. We've seen journalists attacked, beaten, and as we speak right now, one of the journalists, Ashraf Kasirye, is recovering in hospital with a very deep cut that shattered his skull. I'm happy to report to you that the doctors encouraged us the sheriff will be well, although it will take quite a long time. I was able to visit him and he's responding well, although he's not able to talk, but at least he opens his eyes, which we expected to happen in 2 weeks. By the grace of God, that has happened in just over 48 hours. As I speak to you, ladies and gentlemen, more than 100 of our close working campaign team members are incarcerated. Some are still in Kalangala, some are at Masaka Central Police Station, while others, we are informed, are detained in Kasajagirwa Military Barracks. Those that were able to access them have informed us that they have gone through grave torture. Some of them cannot even stand. Just yesterday, a group of medical doctors was seen at Masaka CPS trying to treat some of our members. These are people that did not have a single wound when they were arrested. And yes, I must say that comrades like Nubian Lee, Dan Magic and Eddie Mutwe, nobody knows where they are. They were separated from the other detainees, and up to now, we don't know where they are. We only get reports that they've been gravely tortured. We continue to demand for their immediate release. But ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, disagreeing with General Museveni has become a death sentence. We condemn that in the strongest terms possible. This is what General Museveni has always claimed to have fought against. General Museveni has always called swine the regimes that came before him for abusing the rights of the citizens. Unfortunately, his regime that has become now a regime of blood and national shame is doing the same things or even worse. We have seen abductions of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, the days of Pandagari are back. More than 1,000 of our supporters have been kidnapped. Some are held in military incarceration, while others have disappeared and are not seen to date. We have learned that some have been charged in military court. Innocent citizens, they are charged in military court and they are remanded, while some of them are not seen at all. We have also seen a wave of attack on sports people, and in particular the boxers. Some more than 20 days ago, a renowned professional boxer who is retired, Justin Juko, was arrested in Masaka. And it was until a few days ago that he was released without any charges. Juko was held in military detention without any knowledge and without any access of his family, lawyers, or doctor. We are also aware that a one Joe Vegas Rubega, a champion boxer attached to the National Unity Platform, was arrested, and up to now, nobody knows where he is. We are also informed that Coach Chiza, who runs a gym in Chisenyi at social center was abducted by the military, and up to now we have not known where he is. Ladies and gentlemen, as if that is not enough, all of you woke up to the brutal murder of a renowned boxer, Isaac Senyange, popularly known as Zebra Mando. Zebra was a personal friend to me, but he was a friend to so many people. Zebra was a boxer, and I trained with him in the past days. Zebra was a strong supporter of the National Resistance Movement, the NRM. But Zebra was attacked by security personnel and was brutally murdered in his home in Bwaise. We all didn't believe, because he was murdered in the same way as Abiriga was murdered, in the same way as Afande Chirumira was murdered, in the same way as Kawesa was murdered. Same style, execution style. It was until General Museveni came up on the 31st of December 2020 and indeed made it clear that Zebra was murdered by security. He went ahead to explain that security had gone to arrest Zebra and question him, but they ended up murdering him. What the world doesn't understand is how security goes to question a renowned supporter of the regime, murders him and leaves him where he was murdered. Nobody has been arrested in connection to the murder of Zebra. We only know that the president called the widow and sent a condolence money to the widow. This is the same thing that General Museveni has been doing, always being the first person to show up on the murder scenes of the people. But again, making sure that no report is made. As we all know, no report came out of the murder of Kawesa. No report came out of the murder of Kagezi. No report came out of the murder of Afande Chirumira. And we know that no report will come out of the murder of Zebra. Kino kanchogere ne mu Luganda. Zebra yatemuddwa. Zebra yali mukwano gwange nga bokisa munne, nga muvubuka munne, nga ghetto youth munne. Era Zebra yali muwagizi nnyo wa NRM, naye nga manyi nga mukwano gwe. Zebra bwe yasembayo okulabika mu katambi ka video yali ayogera na RCC ne DPC nga babasaba olukusa okujja okuba abawagizi baffe n'obakolako effujjo. Kyanaku nnyo nti abantu Zebra babadde akolera, kubanga ffena tukimanyi nti abo abantu tebalina mukwano. Babakozesa bukozesa naye ekiseera bwe kituuka nga tebakyakwetaaga naawe ne bakutemula nga bwe babadde batemula abalala. Zebra yatemuddwa. Zebra yatemuddwa okusinziira ku bigambo bya mutabani we ne ku bigambo bya mukyala we. Yatemuddwa abasirikale abajjidde mu motoka ez'ekika kya drone. Emmotoka ze zimu ze muzze mulaba nga ziwamba abantu nga zibakwata. Tukiri tulowooza nti ze motoka ezakwata Juko, ze motoka ezakwata Joe Vegas Rubega, ze motoka ezawamba Coach Kiza wa social center mu Kisenyi paka kati nga tannaba kulabika. Zebra n'atemulwa. Twabadde tukyebuuza enfa ya Zebra paka mwami Museveni bwe yavuddeyo n'akakasa nti ddala kituufu abasirikale be batemudde Zebra. Era ne yeetonda nti ali ssole. Era n'agamba nti kati ye yeddiza obuvunaanyizibwa obw'okunoonyereza ku batemu abatemudde Zebra. Naye nga ffena tumanyi nti entemula y'emu gye batemuddemu Zebra yentemula gye batemulamu Afande Kawesa, yentemula gye batemulamu Bawama Mafiina, yentemula gye batemulamu muganda waffe Abiriga, yentemula gye batemulamu Kirumira. Naye era okuva ku batemula paka olwaleero tewali report yali efulumye. Mwami Museveni yakikomezaawo nga bw'eri enkola ye nti batta abaana baffe naye ne baleeta amabugo ebyo ne bikomaawo. Era yaweereza namwandu amabugo ng'alinga amugamba nti bawo twamuse genda oguleyo zebra omulala. Ekyo nno kyannaku nnyo tukivumirira. Naye njagala kigende eri mwena aba ghetto youth, njagala kigende eri mwena aba boxer, njagala kigende eri mwena aba Uganda abavubuka naddala mmwe be bakozesa okola ebikolobero ku bannammwe, kubanga eno gavumenti ya Museveni ey'obuswavu tesobola kuyimirirawo nga tekozeseza abantu. Nakibagambako nti nobody can keep you a slave without your permission. Yeffe tubawa permission, ne bakozesa ffe, ne bakozesa ffe okumenya amayumba g'abandi, ne bakozesa ffe okugoba abantu ku ttaka, ne bakozesa ffe okutulugunya abantu, ne bakozesa ffe okukuba n'okutemula n'okusirisa abo abagezaako ate okulwanirira eddembe ly'abalala. Naye oluvannyuma lwa byonna naffe ne batuzikiza. Bwe batyo bayisa kiwana, bwe batyo bakoze abantu bonna ne muganda waffe Zebra bwe bamuyisiza. Kitalo nnyo ekya Zebra, naye nkikuteekako mwami Museveni. You are responsible for the death of these young people. We cannot wait to live in a Uganda where life is precious, where the lives of young people is taken seriously, is valued. Kitalo nnyo, kitalo ddala ekya muganda waffe Zebra Mando. It's on the same note that I want to mention that it is not only Zebra that was murdered, but also a young man called Robert Mukasa, who was Zebra's close friend. He was arrested by the same security on the day Zebra was murdered. The following day, Robert was found in Bombo, dead and abandoned in a bush. Kyanaku nnyo twebamaze okutemula Zebra ne gwe bamukutte naye Robert naye bamusanze atiddwa. President w'eggwanga yennyini yavuddeyo n'akakasa nti abantu abasse Zebra abamanyi, naye era kimanyiddwa nti abasse Zebra be baakutte ne Robert kubanga naye yabadde boxer era n'azuulibwa ng'afudde. So it is clear nti kati obutemu buli official, government is sanctioning obutemu, ne bajja ne batemula omuntu, ekyo ne kikomaawo. Ekyo no kyannaku, that is what we are fighting to end. I've already mentioned that so many people have been abducted. Many are rotting in jails while others are still missing. And it is our pledge that the first thing that we'll do when we get into power is to free all the political prisoners, all the prisoners of conscience that have been incarcerated by the Museveni regime. And we know that that day is not far from where we are. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we have completed 2020, now that we've stepped strongly, firmly and confidently into the year 2021, we can only praise the Almighty God. We can only say, Ebenezer, thus far the Lord has brought us. In the new year 2021, we choose hope over fear. We choose confidence over doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the year that we all have been waiting for. This is 2021. We have been planning for this year. We've been waiting for this year. And now we are here. Like Shakespeare said one time, that let us remember and celebrate. Let us eat and drink to the general happiness of the company and our friends that have not made it. But we are here. We are in 2021. And we've always been saying Mission 2021. This is the year to accomplish our mission. We have 12 days from today. 12 days. But I would rather look at it from the point of view of 10 days of campaign. 10 more days. So, we have 10 days to determine the future of our country. We have 10 days to determine the fate of Uganda. We have 10 days of campaign and 12 days to a historical election. It is this election where we are going to determine whether we shall remain slaves in our own country or whether we shall free up. It is in this election where we are going to decide whether our lives are going to be precious and valuable or we are going to continue dying like useless creatures in our own country. It is those 12 days, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make a clarion call to all the people of Uganda. I call upon you, ladies and gentlemen, to rise up and accomplish the mission that we have all been preaching. I want to call upon you to turn out in large numbers and vote. I want to encourage all of you to dedicate these remaining 12 days, to dedicate these days to the future of our country. I've said it before, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to say it again, that we are non-violent. General Museveni has tried everything possible to project us as violent so that he can be able to respond to us with violence. I say it one more time, that we are non-violent. We are just Ugandans. We are farmers. We are border riders. We are nurses. We are doctors. We are teachers. We are lawyers. We are people of Uganda that are determined to change the fate of their nation. We are Uganda. We are the National Unity Platform. We want to change our country, and we are doing that peacefully. So, to the people of Uganda, turn up in big numbers and vote. That is the only solution. We've called upon you in the past to register massively as voters, and you did so. We called upon you to open your eyes, and you did so. We called upon you to spread the message of freedom, and you did so. Now is the time to vote. This is no usual election. This is a revolutionary election. So let's come out in big numbers and vote. Bamama abali mukatale, mikwano janga boda, abalimi, abantu abali mu byalo, yonna gye muli muveeyo mulonde mikwano jange, ate mulonde mu bungi. Eyo ye answer yokka. Akaluluko ke kagenda okuteeka eddagala mu malwaliro. Akaluluko ke kagenda okukomya ettemu lino lye mubadde mulaba erigenda mu maaso. Akaluluko ke kagenda obulamu bwo bukyusa bubeere bwa kitiibwa. Akaluluko ke kagenda okusalawo oba osobola okweyogerera oba tosobola kweyogerera. Akaluluko ssebo nnyabo ke kagenda okuggula enzigi z'amakomera n'ezo zi barracks gye basibidde baganda baffe ba Nobianli ba Edi Mutwe nga tebalina musango. Akaluluko ke kagenda okuwa eddembe okweyagalira mu nsi yo, ke kagenda okuwa citizenship, ke kagenda okuwa eddembe ly'obuntu naawe obeere ng'omuntu. It is your vote that is going to do that. And please, tubasaba zino ennaku 12 ezisigaddeyo muziweeyo mikwano gyange, muziweeyo ku lw'ensi yammwe. Keera buli ku makya obeeko gw'otuusaako obubaka, keera buli ku makya oteeketeeko omuntu, muveeyo mu bungi mulonde. Olunaku lw'14 lwe tugenda okulonda. Teekateeka masiki yo, teekateeka national ID yo, teekateeka akagonge we balondera, ofube olonde. N'abo abalwadde oba bateesobola mubayambe baveeyo balonde. It is on the 14th of January 2021 when we are going to change the fate of Uganda. We know that the regime is planning on a lot of things. We know that the regime is planning to cut off the internet. We know that the regime is planning to cut off mobile money services. We know that they are planning to cut off electricity. We know that they are even planning a lockdown. We know they are planning massive arrests, which they've already started doing. We know that they have already arranged fake terrorist centers in Mbuya barracks and other military centers. We know that they have carried out and they continue to carry out massive arrests. So prepare for that. Tukimanyi bulungi the government ya Museveni teina chance ku kalulu. Yensonga lwaki bali mu kuyoola abaana bazzeemu pandagaali. Tumanyi nti bateekateeka ku lunaku olwo okussa amagye. They intend to deploy the military everywhere to intimidate people to stop people from voting. Bateekateeka okuleeta amagye bagayiwe buli wamu. Bateekateeka okutiisatiisa abantu babalemesa okulonda kuba bamanyi bannayuganda bavaayo mu bungi ne balonda Museveni akake kabawo kabweddemu. Tumanyi nti bateekateeka okuleeta obululu okubuyiwamu ng'olwedde buli tikiti. Bateekateeka okusalako internet. Bateekateeka okusalako amasannyalaze mu bitundu ebisinga obungi eby'omu Uganda. Bateekateeka okusalako mobile money. Tumanyi tibateekateeka n'okola lockdown. Ensonga lwaki tubasaba mweteeketeeke. Byo byonna mubeere nga mubimanyi. Bagenda kukusala amagezi okukwata abantu bangi nnyo. Ba agenti baffe bagenda kufuba okulaba nga babayoola. Bafuba nnyo okulaba nga buli muntu aneetoolodde oba buli muwagizi wa NUP oba buli mukulembeze wa NUP nga bamukwata ne bamusiba. Njagadde nnyo bannayuganda mubitegeere. Manyi nti bateekateeka bategeese nadda in fact Tale Center emu bagitadde Mbuya, endala tulina information bagitadde Nakasongola naye ne mu bitundu ebirala gye baagala okugattiragatira omugatte ogwa omufu ogw'okulonda. But I want to encourage all of you, one, turn out in large numbers and vote, and after that please keep a safe distance but continue watching the proceedings. Don't go back home. Let us dedicate the 14th of January to our nation. Everything that we are encouraging you to do is legal, it is constitutional, and nothing is criminal. We also know that the Electoral Commission intends to delay voting materials in some areas, particularly in Kampala, in Wakiso, in Mukono, and in areas of Masaka. We also know that they are intending to announce results very late. We want to appeal to you, Mr. Byabakama, and the Electoral Commission, and at the same time warn you that the people of Uganda are not going to accept that. You've done that in the past, but you're dealing with a totally different generation. So, the more you disrespect the people of Uganda, the more you will be accountable for any result of a bad election. It is in your best interest and in the interest of the people of Uganda that you respect their voices. Tumanyi timwami Byabakama n'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda bateekateeka okuluyisaayo ebirondesebwa ebyo ebikozesebwa mu kulonda mu bitundu ebimu nga mu Kampala muno mwennyini, ng'e Wakiso, ng'e Mukono, ng'e Masaka ne walala. Naye twagala mwami Byabakama n'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda obakubira omulanga n'obbalabula nti bannayuganda tebagenda kukkiriza nkola eyo ey'obumenyi bw'amateeka. Musirise nga batukolako ebikolobero. Tumanyi nti mwami Byabakama toli mitambo gya kalulu kano, naye njagala okuwa amagezi oleme kubeera nampulira zibi, oleme kubeera ng'enswera gye boogerako mu lugero egoberera omulambo paka Montana. Now to Mr. Museveni. General Museveni, wakati mukuwa ekitiibwa tuze tugamba ne ku mulundi guno tugamba tetulina kye tukusaba. We are not asking for anything from you, General Museveni. All we are saying is keep your word. Keep your word. In Africa, they teach us that a man is noble if he's a man of his word. What we're saying is keep your word. Respect the words that you said when you are a young man. You called Obote and Amin swines for disrespecting the rights of the people of Uganda. You are abusing the rights of Ugandans much worse than the previous regimes. Respect your word. We are not violent. We are not up for violence. But again, we are not going to be silent in the face of oppression. We have said it before and we are saying it again. We are not your slaves. We are the people of Uganda. We are the young people whose future you have robbed away from us, whose parents have died because of your misrule, whose brothers and sisters you are continuing to kill, whose parents lost it all, whose future has gone and we are trying to reinvent it. Be a man of your word. General Museveni, you cannot kill all of us. You cannot. It is unfortunate, very unfortunate, to see that once a prized revolutionary, you have decided to bury your legacy in muck. But again, if that's what you have chosen, that is your decision. However, I tell you today, like I've told you in the past, that you either respect the voice of the people of Uganda, or you will end up like all the other despots have ended up. Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. And for as long as I still have the breath in my body, I will open my mouth and tell you the truth. After all, you go to government, politics is about kulaba mukama. So, tujabi kugamba muzeyi, ngabwe biri, tukuwanye ekitiibwa mukadde waffe, ne munnange tetuli baddubo. Tuli bana Uganda. Tuyinza okubeera aba boda boda, tuyinza okubeera aba comedian, tuyinza okubeera abalimi, tuyinza okubeera abasiisi ba chapati. Naye eno Uganda naffe tugiyinako omugabo nga ggwe n'abaana bo. Eno Uganda naffe ensi yaffe. Wano we batuzaalidde. Era ne bw'onootutta wano we bagenda otuziika. Twagala nnyo okubeera mu nsi eyeeyagaza nga buli omu awamu n'ekitiibwa. Nga ffe n'abaana bo tuli mu nsi nga buli omu asanyukira munne. So tewali nsonga lwaki obeera otuyisa nga ba second class citizens. Tetuli ba second class citizens sa. Tuli bana Uganda. And I hope that message is received by you with an open heart. We respect you, but we would rather you respect yourself as well. Now, to the people of Uganda, we've told you before, we tell you again, that be non-violent, be peaceful, but be assertive. I say it again. Be non-violent, be peaceful, but be assertive. Your right is your right, and nobody can and should take away that right from you. Please use your smartphone. Use your smartphone. That smartphone is a very powerful weapon. We've moved the entire country from the north to the south and central, from the west to the east. We've been confronted with soldiers and police officers armed to the tooth. But we've noticed they fear one thing, that is the camera. So we are calling upon you to use your smartphone, use your camera as much as possible. Go live whenever you can. Expose, expose, expose. As much as you can expose. I want to also ask you, on the day of elections, the 14th of January 2021, please make sure you record the proceedings, but most importantly, that particular time when the returning officer is announcing the result, make sure you capture that. Make sure you capture that particular moment. I know that we are very many Ugandans, and I know that we can do that as a nation, as a population. All we want is clarity. So make sure you capture that. Kozesa kamera yo mukwano gwange. Kamera kyakulwanyisa kyamaanyi nnyo 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 nnyo. Twetolodde eggwanga lyonna lyonna nga batulumbagana balina ebyokulwanyisa ebya buli kala. Naye twazudde nti batya ekintu kimu, batya kamera. N'olw'ensonga eyo njagala okusaba okozese kamera yo genda live recording ebigenda maaso byonna byonna olabise nga bw'osobola. Naye ekikulu ennyo ennyo njagala okukusaba nti recordinga ako kapaati presiding officer waalangirira ebivudde mu kulonda, nti olwaleero bantu balonze bwe bati, gundi afunye obululu bwe buti, noono afunye bwe buti, noono afunye bwe buti. Awo wenjagala okusaba orecordinge. Abatasobola kurecordinga mukozese audio. Those that don't have cameras, please use audio, record as audio, but make sure you record it. Bono recordinga clip eyo tujja kubawa enamba kwe mugenda okubanga musindika bye muba mu recordinze. I also want to use this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to announce that for the last few months we have been building an application that is going to help us tally our election, to tally our results. That application is called Dido. Excuse us, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say this again. I want to take this opportunity to announce to the nation and to the world that for the last few months we have been building an application that will help us bring together the results of this election. That application is called You Vote, and you will be able to access it from Google Play Store in the next few hours. This application will help us ensure that we tighten every noose that the dictatorship was trying to use to rig our vote. Kanchogere mu Luganda, kankozesa omukisa guno okulangirira eri eggwanga n'ensi yonna. Tokumala emyezi nga gijo tubadde tuzimba app oba application enetuyamba okuŋŋaanya n'okubala akalulu kaffe. Eyo application bagiyita You Vote, era egenda kubeera available ku Google Play Store mu ssaawa eziddako embale. But as of now, we shall be sending it to you by WhatsApp, and we will ask you to share it. With that application, you ensure that you get the declaration form and send it to that app. You take a picture of the DR form and send it to that app. That can be done by our agents, but it can also be done by any citizen, because this is not only about agents, this is about all the people of Uganda. And I want to invite all the people of Uganda to kindly be part of this, because this is going to be historical. Eyo app egenda kubeera available eri ba agent baffe, naye ate era ejja kubeera available eri bannayuganda bonna tusobole ogikozesa, kubanga tugezaako okusala amagezi gonna okulaba ng'engeri gye babadde bapulaninga okubbamu akalulu kaffe tuziba buli kituli. Finally, I want to warn all the people that Museveni intends to use to brutalize our people, to kill our people, and to step for the voice of the people of Uganda. Brothers and sisters in the armed forces, brothers and sisters in police, all brothers and sisters in uniform and in security agencies, I want to remind you that the majority of you are young people. Choose the side of the people of Uganda, and not the side of an aging dictator who is clearly on his way out. You have read from history, from the past history and even the recent history. There is no reason why you would abuse your oath. You were not trained to kill Ugandans. You were not trained to brutalize people. You were trained to keep law and order. You were trained to keep the citizens of your country safe. So, it is upon you to make this historical decision, because this is about yourself, this is about your future, this is about your children's future, and it's about the future of your children's children. We all can live in a good country, in a Uganda where soldiers are loved by citizens, where police officers are respected by citizens, where police officers are not ordered to kill or brutalize citizens against their will. We can do that, ladies and gentlemen. So I appeal to all of us to use our conscience. I want to appeal to you not to be robots. Be human beings. You are citizens. You are men and women of honor. You wear our national badge and our national flag with honor. You deserve dignity. You don't deserve shame. I want to thank all of you for listening to me, and I want to request you to spread this message far and wide. Thank you very much for God and my country, and I wish you a very happy New Year 2021. Thank you.
Characterized by the might power of the gun. We can't afford to have any more of that in our future. 85% of Ugandans are below 35 years. They are the future. And it's not only moral, but a responsibility for this generation to secure our own future. Vote Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert as your president 2021-2026. Vote the umbrella for a new Uganda. Our future is already indebted with over 56 trillion shillings that we are bound to pay in 94 years. Unfortunately, the biggest chunk of this has been embezzled by those who might even not be part of the future. Uganda is ranked among the worst African countries with a high mortality rate. The rate of mothers dying while giving birth is terrible. 68% of Ugandans are very poor and outside the money economy. They can hardly afford a single meal a day. Our past and our present has all been characterized by the might power of the gun. We can't afford to have any more of that in our future. 85% of Ugandans are below 35 years. They are the future. And it's not only moral, but a responsibility for this generation to secure our own future. Vote Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert as your president 2021-2026. Vote the umbrella for a new Uganda. Our
Sibye mutyano bannaffe abatuwuliriza gano ge mawulire ag'essaawa eno omusomize Dr. Neiro Yinkimukaga Prince Neris Kayondo. Bannansi babadde bakyali kugwa amasannyalaze okulinnya ebitundu 99 ku 100 gujabagidde omunafu azadde kalira endiga ewalampye ennyumba. Minisita we bamukutte n'obukadde 15 obw'ensimbi so nga ne mu ddwaliro ekkulu teri ddagala. Gaagano mu bujjuvu.
Freedom comes to those who fight, but not to those who cry. Cause the more you cry, the more your people continue to die. So rise, defend your rights. Yaga, 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 yaga. Give me the month time. I don't know why the corruption is too much. Yaga, yaga, yaga. Why the price of electricity too high. Yaga, yaga, yaga. Why the price of education is too high. Yaga, yaga, yaga. And you see the tribalism is too much. I would like to communicate, but the thing that we have to eliminate. Ignorance and poverty to eradicate. And the whole I get to use them to educate. Yo, don't you try to politicize. Don't think me I try to criticize. No, sensitize me I sensitize. And me know say my people must realize the most important things. To liberty begins in your mindset. To free ghetto people they must educate. But education expensive to get. It's like you say we carry water in a basket. I don't know why the corruption is too much. Yaga, yaga, yaga. Why the price of electricity too high. Yaga, yaga, yaga. Why the price of education is too high. Yaga, yaga, yaga. And you see the tribalism is too much, too much, too much. And you came out that mwerimbe amuwoza tusaba gavumenti tuyambe opposition je tusubire tuyambe mulira nabo batukola mu musimbi yo mulikola mukyanga becyanze abanyigirizi babona nga becyaye omuntu wa famire y'omusabo gw'omwezi tegumulisa kumala wiki tobola bangamba tutude ku time bomb yagala kuba lugero time bomb keri baluka temugamba temwagimanya ayaga yaga yaga yaga. I don't know why the corruption is too much. Yaga yaga yaga. Why the price of electricity too high? Yaga yaga yaga. Why the price of education is too high? Yaga yaga yaga. Can't you see the tribalism is too much? Big up to the leaders them. The bad news is that everything is wrong, but the good news is that you still can fix it. Alright, kumasomero fizi tusasula zimu naye emirimu gibera gyabalondemu abavubuka kapisala gwe mulimu emiteri watagwan obusosoze mu mawanga bwe bungi kate fena tumanyi tekiba kirungi. Yes, take a look in every office kati kyenjogerako what don't you see? So me say ebintu ebyo byenjogerako abasinga bibalumira mulinde bisigabayo ku mitima buli omu yandifunye equal opportunity no matter the tribe tetumalawo fitina anti eno ye time bomb enguudo mwe tuyita time bomb embeera y'omalwaliro time bomb n'amasomero mwe tusomeseza abatoto baffe yaga yaga yaga. I don't know why the corruption is too much. Yaga yaga yaga. Why the price of electricity too high? Yaga yaga yaga. Why the price of education is too high? Yaga yaga yaga. Can't you see the tribalism is too much? I don't know why the corruption is too much. Yaga yaga yaga. Why the price of electricity too high? Yaga yaga yaga. Why the price of education is too high? Yaga yaga yaga. Can't you see the tribalism is too much? Yaga yaga yaga. We no promote no violence. We condemn the violence. Rasta no promote no violence. Give me all. Ebino bwenabira benatide nnyo okulwana mu bavubuka kususe nnyo kata bakulembeze ekibaswaza nnyo bamma bavubuka nze nsaba tukole bwe tute abokulonda kubeere kwa ddembe ano buyinza